Okay, the first and most important thing is you never ever want to shift in the middle of a corner. What happens is it's called trailing throttle oversteer. You know, you're managing weight when you're driving. You know, braking, you're putting weight to the front. Accelerating, you're putting weight to the rear. Well, if you're accelerating in a corner and you go to shift, you've got the weight of the back wheels, and just the instant you take the you put the clutch in, you take the weight off the back, boom, the back of the car gets loose and you'll spin out. And I can give you a really good example. We were testing, I think, 2010 at BIR with one of the drivers for the in the Speedworks FR500 S cars for the Mustang Challenge, and we got heard on the radio that he crashed in the Snake. Snake is kind of a cool part. It's kind of like one of these big windy things, and if you got a car that's really set up, you can fly through there. You know, my cars, I just go through there, and it's an amazing experience just flying through this little SS thing. Anyway, he backed himself into the wall, and in the debrief, we're trying to figure out just what happened. There's nothing obviously broke on the car, and he said he was going through, and he was in the middle of the corner, and he shifted. Well, shifting in the middle of the corner, trailing throttle oversteer. And then we told him, I said, look, you know, you can't shift in the middle of the corner or you crash like you just did. And he had come from the Ford Performance driving school in Utah. And he said, the first comment was, well, they never taught me that in driving school. Whether they did or not, it doesn't matter. You just don't shift in the middle of a corner. As far as what gear, okay, I'll use the Coyote engines, for example, and they make peak horsepower around 7,000, and they make peak torque at around 4,600. You always want to keep the RPMs between 4,600 and 7,000. If you're going through a corner and you're revved up and you have to shift as soon as you get out of the corner, you're one gear too low. When I teach people, it's like as they go through a progression, and they'll, you know, you're always using lower gears when you first start driving, and as they get a little more track experience, they're still in lower gears, and you know, you can just tell they're just winding the car up on the exit of the corner. And I said, okay, what you're going to do, you're going to move everything up a gear, and when they do, they're surprised that they actually are faster. They carry more speed. So the key is if rather than going to a lower gear, if you're above 4,600 in torque, you want to use that higher gear. The car's just going to react better, and you don't have to make that shift. If you shift too fast, like I say, you get trailing throttle oversteer. The other thing about gearing, when we like this for race cars, a little diversion when we gear race cars, because we have, you know, we can change the gears of transmission, change the gears of the rear end. We always gear the car for the best acceleration after the corner, and we also set the car up for the corner right before the longest straightaway. The exit speed on that corner is super important because that gives you straightaway speed. So I know with the track day cars, you have to take what you get. But in Ruby, my 2012 track car, pretty much always drove the third and fourth. It was just, which is pretty easy. I mean, the motor had such range. You know, third and fourth is all I ever used, and if you use second, you're gear too low. So always keep the gear up a gear rather than down a gear for a corner, as long as you're above 4,600 RPM. Because a lot of times when you shift, you're going to be like 5,200. That's really good because you're in the peak torque. So that's my little tip on what gear to be in. It's whatever gear doesn't hit the rev limiter on the way out and is above 4,600. Or other cars, you have to look and see what your torque and peak horsepower is.